We're shipping Easter gifts with a rapid-fire round of questions. Ready?
Yes, my gift. Can you pack it?
Yep.
Ship it.
Yes.
Guarantee it.
Of course.
Oh, send gift baskets?
For sure.
Protect electronics? Dog-proof it? Return it if they hate it?
Yes, no, and yeah.
Are you the UPS store?
Hey, we have a winner!
Visit the upsstore.com/guarantee for full details. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, prices, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Visit a store today.
What you're about to hear could be the most important podcast ever created. But probably not. Welcome. It's the Hot Tub Podcast with Mahler, Rush, Jenny, and Brady.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
What was I doing there?
I don't know.
Hi,
That was
everyone.
new.
Hi.
Very children's show. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I have an audition right after the
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
I feel like you're going to teach us about like owls or something.
Or you're going to look through the magic mirror.
Would it be awful hosting a kids show? Like, it would be draining, right?
It would be draining. I've always wanted to do it.
I had an audition back when my agent actually used to get things for me.
Yeah.
I had an audition for a kids program.
No.
And I...
You would be terrible at
yeah,
this.
I auditioned. I had my lines memorized and everything. I did it. And then I remember I came back to the radio station afterwards, and someone asked me how it went. I said, terribly. And I never heard anything back from them. And then I asked my agent, and he said, how did you think it went? I said, I didn't think it went well. He says, yeah, that was the feedback I got. So it was terrible. But I also thought, I'm not, warm and cuddly. I'm not a good children's host.
So did it not stomp you before going out to the audition that, like, I am not a good
Well, no, but the thing is, I thought, you know what, I very rarely get auditions.
Right.
So, hey, go ahead and do it. It'll be fun, and maybe, I'll surprise myself. I did not surprise myself.
Why would you even want that job? Like, you would hate that.
I don't think I even would have done it. I think I just wanted to audition because I got offered to do it.
And it helps it for other auditions,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
It gives you that. Like, you and I would have scored when we were looking into it way back in the day for Canadian Idol when it was a thing in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we could have bantered well off each other and been sarcastic with everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
you guys would be great.
By the way, we were somewhat close to that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Was that true? Like,
Yeah,
you
that actually is
auditioned
true,
for
yeah.
it and stuff, and you did okay?
Yeah, we had talks with people, and yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the guys who are still running all those shows today, like even Canada's Got Talent and all that stuff, same guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, we were really close. They almost flew us down to Toronto, and then they realized that who the hell are we?
Yeah, they saw my audition
Sorry,
for a
guys.
children's show.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And they said, no, not that guy.
Did they
Ben
give it to
Mulrooney.
Ben Mulrooney right away?
Yep.
It was,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we were up against.
And we felt like we had no chance because I felt like it was going to go to Ben no matter what.
Right.
And I think maybe they were just looking for somebody else, an alternative.
Yeah.
Even though they were always going to go with Ben. And
I think
that's
so.
what
Yeah,
we were.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
a big name.
Also, they whispered to me, so your partner did a children's children's
not
program audition. It was terrible.
bad.
How do you think it went?
That's going to be the worst to hear from your agent.
Oh,
How
my
do you
God.
think it went?
How do you
What do you
think
want
it
me to
went?
say to that? Amazing. No.
Well, we're here now, Rush. We've made it on this.
Yeah.
That's something.
That's something.
And we did this without an agent.
That's right.
That's true. God.
Rush,
Yeah.
are we going on an adventure today?
Let's go on an adventure.
That's such a weird thing for it's a weird way to talk to children. Stop talking to children like that.
But I'm looking through the magic mirror.
Why don't you introduce the Hot Tub Podcast in that wonderful
Yeah.
way that you do it?
All right, kids. Let's count down from 3, 2,
Oh my God.
1, and let's begin.
What are you, running
the
a
Hot
cult?
Tub Podcast.
Stop talking like that.
I thought that was pretty good.
No.
Yeah. Oh well.
That's funny.
The Hot Tub Podcast with Mahler, Rush, Jenny, and Brady.
Most people like having a boss that doesn't micromanage your work anyway. However, many workers do need management to meddle when there's workplace drama. There's a new term called glossing, which is a leader's failure to address workplace issues and hardships, which prompts employees to coast at work and suppress negative emotions.
That's a handful
That's a
right
lot.
there.
That's a lot to take in.
We needed a term for that.
You need to address workplace issues and hardships, because if you don't, it'll prompt employees just to coast at work and just suppress all of their emotions and not actually deal with what's going on.
Right.
So you need to deal with the drama.
But we
is what
need
they're
a name
saying.
for that?
Glossing.
Glossing.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Basically, when bosses fail to address obvious problems, anxieties, and tough times, and instead just convey a fake positivity, glossing over the underlying issues. That kills morale and makes workers feel detached. It causes workplace to feel less motivated and promotes a lazier attitude.
You know what kills my motivation?
What's that?
Just seconds ago.
Yeah.
Before we got on the air, seconds ago, both our bosses just walked in the building, meaning they're not listening to
Now,
the
hang
show
on.
again.
We weren't talking at the time. I had the same thought, but they didn't get out while we were talking. They do often. But they didn't then.
All the time.
And so I thought maybe they, didn't actually.
No.
Because the fact is, when you drive in, when you physically have to turn off our conversation,
Yeah.
that's the one that
Can you
hurts.
call Gary?
Yeah.
And I just want to bring him on the air and see what his favorite part of our show was today.
good. I
That's
like
a
that.
great
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Okay.
The good thing is that Gary won't.
First of all, you have to identify it's the morning hot tub.
Yes.
'Cause-
Oh, Gary. I love Gary.
Yeah.
I really do.
And you have to warn him not to swear.
Yes.
He likes to swear a little bit.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Well, who
I
doesn't?
wonder if he's going to answer.
I don't expect this to go overly well.
No.
Oh, no?
No.
Well,
Why?
he may not answer knowing that
Why?
it's Brady
Because
calling.
it's Gary.
I'm giving Gary the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Well,
He's one of our bosses.
He is.
And it would just be nice to know that he listens to the show.
yeah, well,
And then I can talk to him about, what is it, glossing?
glossing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Is Gary
Ask him if
related
he's
to...
a glosser.
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
not
Gary.
only does Gary not listen to our show, he doesn't answer our calls.
Oh, my
either.
God. Are you
Just,
kidding?
like, are you...
That whole time.
And he's in sales, too, so, he answers random
And he's
calls.
in the
You know what I mean?
building.
He's in the building.
He's in the building.
Go get him.
Try again.
don't just get him. Just open the door and yell at Gary.
Do you want me to go do that? I can.
No,
or-
no, it's okay.
No, we don't need him
we
in
don't
studio.
have enough time.
No.
The last thing we need him to do
Yeah,
is
in
know where the
studio
studio
feels like
is.
a lot.
At least we know where we stand with Gary.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
He just doesn't pay attention to us at all.
No.
No.
So we really could get away with anything.
Hey, Gare Bear, it's Brady from the Morning Hot Tub. You want to come on air with us for 1 second?
He's going to say no.
Yeah, I got to put you on hold. Here, just hang on. Don't swear.
What was his answer, Brady?
Okay, all right.
Did he say no?
Yeah, no, he's here. He's here. He's on the
Okay.
line. Yeah.
Hey, Gary.
Oh, hey.
Hi, Gary.
So we're just bringing it down. You're like one of our bosses around here, or so we're told.
Yeah.
Every year on my
And
Christmas
don't you
card,
forget
Okay.
it.
on my Christmas card, I always see your signature. So I assume.
Not his full signature, just Gary.
Yeah, Gary. Yeah.
So Gary, we just have to ask, because as one of our bosses, I'm sure you really support the Morning Hot Tub. What was your favorite thing we did this morning?
Gee.
It's hard,
I
I
did
know.
listen. I
Did you?
Sure. Yeah. Okay, Gary. Why don't we take it one step further? What is your favorite outside of Crush Rush? Because you know that one. What is your favorite segment on the show?
Oh, the games of joy, of course.
The games of
Gary
joy.
nails it.
Yeah.
Put you in your place.
Yeah,
that's-
it's close
that's-
because it's not called
yeah.
the games of joy.
No, that's
Almost,
close.
yeah.
Was your favorite part when you turned off the car and walked into the parking lot? Is that?
Thank you for this.
No problem. Anyway, just thought we'd drop you a line and look forward to your Christmas card. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye, Gary.
Yeah. Oh, we did get a text from another boss saying, for the record, I am sitting in my car listening.
Oh,
How about
That's
that?
nice.
that is
Thank you,
nice.
Josie.
Yeah.
Thanks, Josie.
Oh,
And-
Josie?
yeah, and Gary has hung up on us.
Gary's gone. All right. So it went about as well as expected.
Now none of us are getting Christmas cards.
No,
The Hot Tub Podcast with Mahler, Rush, Jenny, and Brady.
Well, I think it's time to spin the wheel of fun. Do you guys think the same thing?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I really want to do one thing on the Wheel of Fun, and
Oh.
can I just...
You can't
Well, here,
control it.
let me. Do you want to
No,
spin?
Rush, I insist. Okay, I'm just going to do this.
Okay.
Okay. And we're going to stop it right there.
But
All right, perfect. Okay. Hey, wow, it happens to be the exact thing I wanted to do.
It's time for misheard lyrics.
Yeah.
We should also say it's time for misheard and then say something else
Sound
other
like a
than
misheard lyric.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
It's time for misheard.
Lyrics. It's time for misheard lyrics.
Welcome, guys,
Yep.
to Misheard Lyrics. You know, when you're listening to a song and you're like, wait, hang on, what did they just say? And it never ends up being what you actually thought. But there's a lot of silly misheard lyrics out there. We've been doing this now for a while, and we get so many misheard lyrics sent to us. Like, my DMs are full.
And keep them coming.
Oh, absolutely.
Keep them coming.
Totally. I love it, and I listen to all of them, I promise, and the best ones we play on the radio on Misheard Lyrics here on the Morning Hot Tub. I always like to go back and look back on some of our favorites from the past, because it's always a lot of fun. Why don't we start with Sia, who possibly sang, I'm a virgin with no brain.
I'm a virgin with no brain.
Yeah.
Feels a little harsh on herself.
But okay.
I'm a virgin with no brain.
I'm a virgin with no brain.
Sounds like 17-year-old Mahler.
Maren Morris, this was one of our favorites from one of the past times we did this. When the bones are good, the breasts don't matter.
When the bones are good, the rest don't matter.
The bones are good, the breasts don't matter.
When the bones are good, the rest don't matter.
You know, I just met her a couple days ago.
Yeah.
There's a picture on my Instagram. If you follow me at
She is
Mahler.
tiny.
I put it up there she's with Piper. And Piper's about 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maren Morris might as well be 3 foot.
Yeah,
Right?
she's very
Did you
small.
see the
I
picture?
did see the
Yeah.
picture, and I thought maybe it was like that
was just the
Piper was
angle?
standing on
Yeah.
something, or she was below.
She
No.
makes Piper look like a WNBA
Yes.
superstar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Piper's
true.
just a normal
That's
person.
crazy. It's such a
it's
tiny little
wild.
thing, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiny. Technotronic. This was a good one. Pump Up the Jam. It kind of sounds like Ottawa, a place to stay.
Very nice.
Yeah, good for Ottawa tourism. I really like this one from Moana, which was a kid's. This is my favorite, like maybe ever. Moana, obviously a kid's movie. People here, it's like the tide always effing rising. Okay, it's like the tide always effing rising. Obviously, that's not what they're singing. Have a listen.
Like the tide, always falling and rising.
Yeah.
And it's such like a big emphasis on it too.
Right?
Like the tide, always falling and rising.
Very angry about the tide.
It just never stops. I think this is Rush's favorite, Twist and Shout. We're shaking a baby now.
Love it.
And all his friends behind him going, shaking a baby.
They're so excited about it.
And we have, I have more Taylor Swift misheard lyrics than like any other artist.
Yeah.
I have so many. Famously, Paris. We were in Paris like we wore sombreros.
We were in Paris, like we were somewhere else.
And in Lavender Haze, I feel 11 turkeys creeping up on me.
Yeah.
So real.
I feel the lavender haze creeping up on me, so real.
I mean, that's what she's saying.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
All right, so why don't we begin the new ones today with Taylor Swift? I got 2 new Taylor Swift ones for you. This one's from Cindy, an old song with Tim McGraw featuring Taylor Swift called Highway Don't Care. We're going back like, I don't know, 10, 15 years, something like that. Cindy here's trying not to let the first... another word for breast, but it rhymes with bit.
Okay.
Can I say that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bird.
Yeah.
A tit. Trying not to let the first tit fall out. Have a listen.
You try not to let the first tip fall out.
Yep.
I've listened to that so
Yeah.
many times. I have no idea what they're actually
No.
saying.
No.
It's trying not to let the first tit fall out.
You try not to let the first tip fall out. Try not to think about turning around.
Another Taylor one. Jenna hears and ready for it. The duck is vegan. The duck is vegan.
God, she has so many.
Yes.
Like I have a whole folder just of Taylor's misheard lyrics. Crystal sent this one in. Kind of an obscure song. It's off Eminem's Kamikaze album. Song is called Fall, and multiple times throughout the song she hears "Don't fart on my face." Okay, don't fart on my face.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, man.
So good.
Don't fart in my face.
Don't follow my face. Don't follow my face.
We've all been there. You know?
What?
If you had siblings, for sure.
Yeah,
But I don't
absolutely.
want to know what they're actually
No.
saying.
No.
I just want to believe that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's stay with that theme. We love Jamie Fine. Jamie Fine, you're like. Ashley sent this one in. Ashley hears, I knew when I saw it how you caught me farting.
I knew when I saw it how you caught me falling.
We gotta stop. Okay, no more
No,
misheard
look,
lyrics.
I love
hear.
these. I love these
It's
ones.
what people hear. I knew when I saw it how you caught me farting.
I knew when I saw it how you caught me falling.
Did you send that to her?
I will.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
We have a few Jamie Fine ones,
Yeah.
which is great. And Brad sent this one in, Semi-Charmed Life, Third Eye Blind. He hears, and the four-eyed goats can make me cry.
And the four-eyed goats can make me cry.
Totally.
And the four-eyed goats can make me cry.
And the four-eyed goats can make me cry.
I think I've been singing that all these years.
A few more here. Megan sent in this one, The Weeknd and Ariana Grande, the remix to Save Your Tears. Megan hears, met you once under a pricey spoon.
Met you once under a pricey spoon.
I don't know what a pricey
Don't know what
spoon
it
is, but
means, but okay. Met you once under a pricey spoon.
Met you once under a pricey spoon.
And Jennifer was sending in, Nelly, ride with me if you want to go and take a ride with me with three women in the car with the goatees. With
Oh,
three
yeah.
women
That's
in the
what I've
car
been
with the
singing.
I
goatees.
think
The
that's- I
goatees
think
I've been
the lyric,
singing,
yes.
yeah.
If you wanna go and take a ride with me, we three women in the four with the goatees.
Yeah, I can hear it. Three women in the car with the goatees.
If you wanna go and take a ride with me, we three women in the four with the goatees.
And finally, last one here. Don't know who sent this one in. Nelly Furtado and Turn Off the Light. Whoever this was, I didn't write down their name. They hear, licked a bum the other day. Licked a bum the other day.
Looked above the other day.
well, if you did.
All right. 2024, man. Not judging, Nelly.
Looked above the other day.
Just the other day.
Yeah, pretty proud of it.
Wow,
That's good.
wow.
That was a good session.
Oh, I don't know what's going to stick with me
Yeah.
today. I have no idea.
Right?
Maybe
think-
No, I think the fart on my face.
Oh, the M&M. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't follow my face. Don't follow my face.
I feel like there's going to be like a lot of 9-year-olds asking their Google
Absolutely,
Homes to
yes.
play that later. You know, the song is called "Fall." If you want to find
And
it.
perhaps that's in direct correlation to the last Nelly song. About
That's
the-
true. Yeah.
Like,
Looked above the other day.
Yeah. Do we know that Nelly and Eminem never
We
were
don't know.
together?
We don't
know.
Sure.
We don't know. Yeah.
it's misheard lyrics. Oh boy, on the morning hot tub.
The Hot Tub Podcast with Mahler, Rush, Jenny, and Brady. Find the gang on their socials. Follow at Mahler, at One True Rush, at Hot/Jenny, and at Brady Jones Radio.
So, do you mind if we jump in here and just talk about a local story that went international? Angie Poirier, who has been doing TV and radio in Ottawa for many, 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 many years.
I don't know that she appreciates that.
Well,
many
yeah.
days.
That's a lot of
Many. I
want to give her props, you know?
The menu.
Well, you know, I don't mean to get too serious, but she was totally hit with some devastating news for her and her family a little while ago, as her 8-year-old son, Nash, is now battling a rare form of cancer. And so they had to go down to Boston a little while ago and get special help down there. And they've been down there for a while.
Yeah.
And so it's been quite the battle. And so there is a hero in the story of the last couple of days helping out Nash with his battle. So let's bring Angie on the air with us. Good morning, Angie.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, sorry about you've been in radio
Long.
and TV for a long time. Sorry about that. So first of all, before we get into anything else, how is Nash doing right now?
He's doing well. You know, we're in the final stretch now. We have another week to go here in Boston, and then we'll actually be heading back home, which is really exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so he's excited to see friends again and all of that. So it'll be
Good.
really nice to get back in our own beds, too.
Yeah, no kidding.
No,
yeah.
How long have you been away for?
It'll be 2 months by the time we head home, yeah.
But I
And
mean,
it's yeah.
Luckily, you were able to meet and make a new friend during your time in Boston. So that's something pretty cool.
Yeah, people here are really nice. Yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy couple of days. It's funny because this morning my phone was blowing up with all these texts from back at home, and people are saying, "You're coming up on Good Morning America," and I was like, "What?" So
that is awesome.
Yeah, so Ryan and Nash were on GMA this morning, but yeah. So,
let me. Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
Was on with Nash.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
So how did this happen? You and not having a relationship with Ryan Reynolds?
It kind of happened years ago during COVID, and we reached out to him, and he and I were going back and forth on a little project that we were working on, and we'd asked his help on, and he just started following me on Twitter, and then we just kind of became Twitter friends or ex-friends or whatever. But then, I had reached out to him when Nash started all of this, because the thing is for each kid, when you're going through radiation, you have to have a radiation mask made. And one of the things for these kids, he has to wear this mask every single day, 5 days a week for radiation sessions for 2 months straight.
Wow.
So they ask you, what do you want to paint it up as? Make it something that's not so scary. Yeah. And he chose Deadpool. So we had it painted up, and then I sent the photo to Ryan, and I said, this is Nash, this is what he's going through. He chose Deadpool, and this is what's kind of getting him through every day. And anyway, he was blown away by that and messaged me almost instantly and said that he wanted to come and meet him while he would be in Boston.
Wow.
So it's one thing, because I think it was a couple weeks ago, you actually got a video encouraging Nash from Ryan, but the idea that he was going to Boston now to visit Nash for not even a 5-minute pop-in, he was there forever with you guys.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because Ryan was in Boston for a speaking engagement. It was a sold out big inbound, marketing conference. And so I assumed he was going to be way too busy. And when he said he wanted to come and said, I'll love to come meet him if he'll have me, he said. I was like,
that's so nice.
I think he will,
love him.
And then I assumed, because he was so busy, that it would be a quick, 10-minute pop-in. But I stayed over an hour. He signed a bunch of stuff for him. He signed his radiation mask and a casual FaceTime call with Hugh Jackman in the mix with that.
Yeah, so how long was that call with Hugh Jackman? That looked cool as well.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. Hugh just happened to text Ryan when they were in the middle of it. So he's like, oh, let's see if he picks up. So... But
how neat. How is Nash? Was Nash just losing his mind?
Yeah, did he have any
this?
idea that any of this was happening?
No. We kept it a total surprise. He had no clue, and was just completely blown away. I think you can tell, his mouth was dropped open.
Yeah.
He's kind of a little bit short for breath.
Yeah.
A little bit stunned. But the incredible thing about all of it, though, is, there's the meeting, and then there's what he imparts on the child, and in this case Nash. It wasn't just about a superhero walking in the room. That is of course amazing, but for over an hour, this man's a lyrical genius. He was just saying the most inspiring, incredible things, and just Nash definitely walked away from that feeling bigger and stronger and more inspired for sure.
That is amazing. Now, I guess shout out to Ryan Reynolds, obviously amazing. But the hospital people here in Ottawa, and of course where you are now in Massachusetts, they've been superstars, correct?
Of course, yeah. I mean, everyone knows Chio at home. It is incredible, and for so many years, doing so many fundraisers for Chio, but never kind of being inside the walls as much as I have been lately. It's just seeing it on another level through a different lens, how incredible it is. And, a lot of people were wondering, well, why are you going to Boston? Because we have Chio, but the thing is they send you. So, we needed proton radiation, and sadly we don't have that in Canada still. So they send you to the closest one, which for us is Boston. So, yeah.
Well, I know you have more things to get to this morning with Nash, so we won't keep you, but I think I can speak on behalf of the show and everybody in Ottawa. We miss you guys, and we hope your safe travels bring you back soon and everything turns out for the best.
100%, yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right. Have a great day, Angie.
You too. Thanks.
There you go.
Bye.
Angie Poirier. Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, come on.
I mean, come on.
How cool is that guy?
What a great guy.
A real life hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right?
That
and
was,
of course,
wow.
who matters most in this situation is Nash and
Yeah.
getting better. And if any little bit of that helps, any positivity,
We're all thinking
good
of you, Nash.
energy, and sending love and light for sure.
And really recommend checking out that video on Angie's socials because it's like, man, that will warm your heart and it brings a smile to your
if
face.
I was
It's incredible.
Nash, I wouldn't have believed it was Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
No way.
It's true.
I wouldn't believe it.
It's incredible. Just truly, truly incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
The Hot Tub Podcast with Mahler, Rush, Jenny, and Brady.
All right, so we know that Sabrina Carpenter's Short and Sweet album is doing so well.
Yes, it is.
In fact, it scores a third consecutive week at number 1 on the Billboard 200 album chart.
Yeah, no surprise. It's a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we have a little Sabrina there?
Oh,
we can,
yeah,
tease
absolutely.
the folks with?
Just a little taste.
And this is the third single from the album. The best one so far for me anyway.
Oh, yeah?
It's
Love it.
really grown on me.
Great song, yeah.
Really grown on me.
Solid. So congrats to her. By the way, this album, Short and Sweet, becoming the second album to spend the first 3 weeks atop the list in 2024. Only Taylor Swift and the Tortured Poets Department also spent the first 3 weeks atop
How cool
the
is
list
that
in
sharing that
2024.
with Taylor Swift?
Yeah,
then,
and they're
right?
buddies too, right?
Oh.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
because Sabrina started off this year opening for Taylor on the
Right,
tour.
yeah.
Right.
So,
What a
yeah,
year.
good for both those ladies. Obviously, now Taylor spent 15 non-consecutive weeks at number 1, so Sabrina has a ways
She's
to
got a
go.
ways to go.
Yep.
The charts, though, are very bizarre, and I'll tell you why. So we've heard of these artists, and there's Kendrick Lamar
Sure.
and Morgan Wallen, and all your faves
Sure.
are in
Yeah.
the top 10 and stuff. This album just skyrocketed, and nobody knows why.
Oh.
It is now number 10 on the music album charts down in the U.S. It's called Baby Lullaby, Relaxing Piano Lullabies and Natural Sleep Aid for Baby Sleep Music.
Okay. I guess,
okay.
yeah.
From out of nowhere.
That is so...
I wonder, well, September is the most common month for babies to be born, right?
right.
Because
Okay.
of they're conceived during the holidays.
But
that's a thing. So
still.
maybe, I guess.
Was there an ad somewhere?
I don't know.
You know?
Brady, do you have some of the cuts from the album?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go with the first single, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
Like, this is up against espresso right now. I just don't get it.
I mean, it's not bad.
It's a great
wow.
version.
Yeah, well, don't forget the follow-up single, just generically called Baby Lullaby Music.
Okay.
Oh,
That's what this one's called.
oh this feels harsh.
This is track 1.
I mean, it's a banger. I
Yeah,
get it.
and then when the party really gets bumping, obviously throw on A Small World.
This one features A$AP Rocky.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
His verse is great.
Yeah.
It's coming. Hey, wait for
Yeah.
it. No, isn't that weird? Because there must be
Yeah.
so many of these kinds of albums.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a bazillion.
That's what it makes me think that this was being advertised somewhere.
I was
Like,
just
was it
gonna
an
say that.
Amazon thing?
Heck
Was
of a
it
job
TikTok?
marketing
Yeah.
it.
I think
yeah.
it's just perfectly named, right? Like if you
Yeah.
let's say you're going to search for something like this, what are you going to do? Baby Lullaby for sleeping,
Yes.
and then that is what it is,
Yeah.
right?
And they,
But
Yeah.
what would make it skyrocket into the top 10?
that they probably paid for every search that is searched. They're the first to show up.
Yep. And so people, and they're playing it.
It's
And
an easy
streaming, and
download.
there you go.
Man,
Yeah.
good for
And
them.
I mean, let's face it, here on the station, we play all the top hits, we play all the top
Yeah.
albums, you know what I mean? So maybe we should have one of these into rotation.
I mean,
All
it was
right.
Twinkle the first single. So
And Twinkle was, we'll have to go back to the the big hits.
Right.
It's-
Aw.
I mean, it's good.
Yeah, no, it's
it
great.
is relaxing.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. it's
Now,
nice.
if Taylor was smart, they would open up, the next leg
Yeah.
of the Eras tour.
With this,
Maybe
yeah.
when
Right?
Toronto, Vancouver.
That's exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Everybody
Right.
nice and relaxed.
Yeah.
You guys have heard of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
Of course, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
They're doing a giant tour this winter.
You wanna see them?
Before Christmas? I don't really.
No.
But my dad, for 15 years now, has said, Jeff, if the Trans-Siberian Orchestra ever comes, you've got to take me.
Really?
Haven't you had like 10 opportunities to take
No,
him?
ever since he said it,
They stopped
They
coming?
haven't
Okay.
been. Maybe they
Oh.
were here 10 years
Yeah,
ago. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Whatever it is. And so they're actually going to be around my area I might go, but I really don't want to see them. But for my dad, who's, like 77, whatever he is.
I mean,
what are some of their hits?
They do Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't they do Home Alone?
Oh,
did they?
I think they, like Carol of the Bells is like their big thing, right?
Yeah.
But then I thought, if my dad's not been asking for this 10, 15 years, I think he appreciated it then. I don't know if he'd appreciate going to a 2-hour concert of this now.
I think you probably still would.
No.
I think he would. I know you're trying to get out of going. I think he still would. You don't not wait. If you really wanted to go, there's no reason to not now.
Yeah, you got to go.
I mean, this is pretty badass.
Yeah.
Come on, this would be really cool to see
apparently
live.
They're phenomenal live.
Yeah. And if you want this to be extra cool, you talk to me beforehand, and I got a little something that you can, that'll make this electric.
No.
I'm not getting high with my dad.
I'm just saying, if you want it to be phenomenal.
Oh, I thought you were going to pull out an instrument or something.
No. Like my slide whistle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't consider a bong an instrument. All right?
I mean, Brady does.
Maybe I'd rather take him to the Baby Lullaby concert, to be honest with you.
You'd be out early.
Yeah, especially if you did what Brady Jones is talking about.
We're sound asleep in the front.
I don't hate that, actually.
Dad, we got to go backstage for the meet and greet.
The Hot Tub Podcast with Mahler, Rush, Jenny, and Brady.
You shouldn't judge people too quickly or over one little thing. Anyway, that said, what's a mispronounced word that immediately makes you think that person's an idiot?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Well, someone asked Reddit, and here are the top 10 answers. Okay, and they're all pretty bang on.
Are you feeling self-conscious reading these that you might mispronounce any of them?
No, I'm pretty good at all of these, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like we all have the words that we trip up on, right?
Right, yeah.
Like all of us.
Yeah, all of us?
Sure. All of us?
No, well, definitely me. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely you.
Yeah, I think
for
that's
sure.
what we're getting at. Yeah.
Okay, frustrated, right? When you say frustrated? Frustrated?
Frustrated.
I've
Yeah.
never said frustrated.
Who said
No.
frustrated?
Frustrated.
Children.
Yeah,
Children,
unless
yes.
you're 4.
Children say
Exactly.
frustrated. Yeah.
Is this list of a 4-year-old?
Could
This
be.
is the thing, exactly. But I mean, if you watch enough reality TV, you will hear this.
People
like,
do that.
Yeah, like I
Some
hate
of the
to say it.
bachelorettes and stuff, they say things.
Yes.
They pronounce the G's in words.
do
It drives
they?
me crazy.
There's a way that people
Going.
say
Going.
and people say suggestion.
Suggestion?
Yeah, suggestion.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But is
No.
that just like a regional thing? Like, there's a lot of things that Americans say, for example, that we don't, that I can't stand.
I've also heard too that people have said to me that no, it's not suggestion, like a J, it's suggestion, and we've been saying it wrong.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
and-
can't imagine.
Yeah, and because I thought, well, no, even if it's wrong, I'm going to keep going with wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, specifically. You know what I'm going to say, specifically.
Yeah.
Again, like a
People say
4-year-old.
that?
I think
Adults?
I think people who were not, how do I word this?
Are these the same people that say I want Pisgetti for dinner?
Exactly. Okay, how about Chipotle or Chipotle? People will say. I've never heard anybody say Chipotle.
Dumb.
Yeah. Quesadilla as quesadilla.
Okay, now we're this is
I'm
ridiculous.
gonna have me a quesadilla.
That's like ordering fajitas,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
that's someone-
Fajitas,
Yes, or
10,000 chicken
jalapenos.
fajitas.
Exactly.
Marijuana.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, anything that starts with an ES sound, but you make it an EC sound, like escape, etc., and espresso.
There's a lot of people that still say
A
express.
lot of people that say
Yeah, that's
espresso,
bad.
I think
etc.
Sabrina Carpenter's helped us.
I think so.
You would
yeah.
hope, yeah.
yeah.
I wonder if they all think she sang it wrong.
Oh, man.
That's a possibility.
Oh, this is one I think more common. Nuclear.
Yeah. Mahler says nuclear.
Nuclear.
No, I say nuclear.
You don't.
I do.
You never do.
I
Every time you say it, I always think, oh, he said nuclear again.
do. I'll tell you why. Because when I was in radio school way back in the day,
Yep.
the late great Norm Wright
Oh, yeah.
drilled it. I mean, drilled it into our heads.
I
Like,
agree. And
We failed if
I
we
know
said
this,
it wrong.
because I went through it as well. And every time you say it, I always think to myself, Norm Wright would kill him right now.
Right, yeah.
Because you say nuclear.
You would.
Yeah.
I say nuclear.
You don't.
I just did.
Well, you did this
Just
time.
did.
Why was that such a what a random word? Were you guys like when you were in radio school? Did there happen to be like a nuclear thing going on?
It was broadcasting.
Yeah.
And it was very much, he was a CBC guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
And they were really strict about all of that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people say news, and you're supposed to say news.
Yeah. News.
Yeah.
It's EW. But it's funny.
News.
I don't know why nuclear was such a huge thing for him, because that was probably out of everything, that's the one word that stuck with me too.
Yeah.
And
But you're
the
supposed to say
other
it like nuclear.
Yeah.
Nuclear.
Yeah.
Was he an older fellow? Was it maybe like he was in the broadcasting during the Cold War or something, and it was like a big part of what he was doing?
He was an older fella, yeah.
Okay.
He'd be
All
like,
right.
Brady Jones, don't say that about me.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
But when you met him, like he never broke character. Like he was a news reader
Wow.
till
Okay.
the day he died.
Oh, wow. That's cool, though.
Isn't it funny that we have the same job as people like that, and we are not that? You know?
He was this old school, and I remember my favorite story about this guy that nobody knows, and nobody knows who I'm talking about.
He
so it's not
was
a
on
good
the
story.
CBC, though.
He was.
He was.
Yeah.
And I remember I was in the first year there, and I'd known him for about 6 months or so. But I thought we had this good rapport, which everybody thought, because you wanted to have a good rapport with this guy.
Right.
And I remember seeing him. I was standing outside, and he was walking back, and he had he was carrying a bag from the liquor store. And I said, "Oh, look, it's Norm." And surprisingly, he's got a bag from the liquor store. Ha, ha, ha. And people laughed. And then he stopped what he was doing, and he walked towards me, and he got about an inch from my face. And he said, "My whole goddamn life is in a bag from the liquor store."
Oh my God. You'll never forget that moment, eh? Oh my God. Oh, I'm so uncomfortable.
All right.
And there was the thing in radio we had to do, which you never have to do now. And no day in radio in all my years, you had to what we call balance a board.
Right.
And we had to get board tone. So there'd be a tone, but you'd have to balance everything around all the buttons
God.
and everything like that.
Yeah.
And so many people failed and would go running out of the studios just crying and crying and crying.
no.
People would be out on the streets crying because they all failed
Yeah.
their first test in broadcasting.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Because nobody could balance a board properly.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, it was intense.
And he loved it.
And he
did
loved
love
it. Oh my God.
Weeding them out. That's what he thought.
Yep.
Weeding them out. Okay, so just a couple more here, guys. Saying supposedly instead of supposedly.
Yeah, that's done.
Yeah, we
And
got a
then-
text about that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then irregardless. There's no such word as
Right.
irregardless. It's just regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one word that I was taught early on in radio, because I never went to radio school, clearly, was that I would say anyways all the time instead of anyway. So it took me a long time. That was such a crutch, right? So I had to work on
Yeah, I always
saying that.
wonder about something like that, though. It's so slangy.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And these days, you can say a lot of things that
That's
just
right.
don't make sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether
Yeah, it's
it
much more
matters or not.
conversational now, right?
It
It
is.
is, but it's just when I hear somebody say anyways, it does that to me now. Like
Okay.
it
Don't you
definitely
find
stands
this
out.
whole list can also go the other way, though? Like, if I hear like a British person say aluminium,
Yeah.
I immediately
Yes.
think they're smarter than I am.
Because the accent does that. I
Absolutely.
remember getting in so much trouble for saying prestigious. And I always thought prestigious was right. And
Prestigious?
I got Haldun office. What is prestigious? I'm like, I'm trying to give it definition. It's like,
man.
no, that's prestigious. Like, oh.
I don't know if I would have passed this radio school.
And prestigious sounds wrong to me.
Or inquiry or inquiry.
Yep.
I was told it's inquiry, not
Okay.
inquiry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a British versus American.
But then, like
Canadian,
today,
who
I could
knows?
say, "Oh, that's on fleek," and people go, "Oh, yeah, that makes
Yeah,
That's
sense."
totally.
fine.
What?
Yeah.
God, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
There you go.
Nailed it.
What are you saying?
Nuclear.
Yeah.
It's nuclear.
Yeah,
Nuclear.
nuclear, not new.
It's not
Not
nuclear.
nuclear.
Yeah,
You-
nuclear.
Yeah.
Nuclear.
Yeah.
Nuclear.
Yeah, it could be
Nuclear.
nuclear. It's just not nuclear.
Yeah,
Nuclear.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
It's not nuclear.
it's not that. Right. Nuclear.
I have no idea what I say.
See?
I have no idea.
It doesn't sound like a word.
Or like
No,
data,
not a word.
data or data.
I say data.
Does that one matter?
Data feels more
Yeah.
prestigious.
It does.
Prestigious,
Does.
Brady.
Yeah. God.
Prestigious. Yeah.
Call yourself a broadcaster, son.
The Hot Tub Podcast with Mahler, Rush, Jenny, and Brady.
If there was ever a time when kids suddenly became an adult, like at 18, that's no longer the case. Even most 18-year-olds would agree. So when does life get real? Well, a study of 4 generations, boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z, found that in their experience, adulthood actually starts at the age of 27.
I can see that.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
You're paying all of your bills. You're financially independent,
Yeah.
and you're putting responsibilities over having fun. So you're paying your own insurance. You're not on your family's family plan. You're laying the groundwork to support yourself and your family into the future. You can be trusted with a credit card, and you know how to do laundry.
Yeah, you know how to do. You know what I think it is when you go to university, you go to school or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And you're still treated kind of with kid gloves a
Yes.
little bit. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like you feel like you're young, and then you start your first job, and there you're the kid,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I think it's you get that first promotion, that first
Right.
little bit of responsibility in the workplace. I feel like
Yeah.
that's when adulthood really kicks
I
in.
think it's also when there's other people around you that you realize, oh, they're in the kid role. They're
Yeah.
the new one here, so it's not me anymore. So
Totally.
you realize that there is somebody younger than you. Like, I know that I still have those thoughts because I think we all do sometimes think of us as being younger
Yes.
than we actually
Yeah.
are. I remember golfing one time, and I hit a drive, and I hit a drive a long way, very good drive. And I was thinking, I was playing with people that I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I wonder if they look at me like, that's pretty good for a young guy. You're not a young guy. You're not young at all. No one's thinking, boy, he's pretty good for a kid.
Also, I played golf with you, Rush. No one's
No one's
thinking.
impressed at all.
No one's impressed by anything.
Even if
in
I
your golf
were
game.
12,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have been impressed.
They'd be like, oh, wow, he drove it.
Yeah.
That's all.
He made contact.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like you have those thoughts, and I've said this before. I remember being walking in the entry level area of a grocery store.
Yeah.
And there was a kid that was walking by, and kids in grocery stores especially, they don't watch where they're going. They
Right.
just walk into things.
Like a how old kid?
Probably like 4 or 5.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
And I heard his mother say, "Oh, watch out for the nice gentleman." And I turned around and I'm looking left and right for the nice gentleman. Like who? And then thought, oh,
I'm the
it's
gentleman.
me.
Yeah.
I'm a nice gentleman.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of cool. But
Sure.
at the same time, I thought, how can I be a nice gentleman?
Right.
That's an old thing.
I'm too young to be a nice gentleman. Yeah, I get that.
I got ID'd buying wine not too
Oh,
long
how
ago,
did that
but
feel?
my license was in my car, so I had to go out and get it.
yeah.
And the person was like so apologetic. Like they read it and they're like, "Oh," and I was like,
Oh.
Yeah.
and they're like,
But that's
"Sorry," and I'm like,
nice.
But you're
"Don't
like,
you
so-
dare
yeah.
apologize!
No, that's
you
great.
made my day, my week, my month. Like this is
Like
amazing."
if you
And
work
he was just
somewhere where
laughing.
you're, this is a PSA for anybody out there who works somewhere where,
Yeah.
where you card people. Card people. Like
Oh.
if you think
Yeah.
they're like under, I don't know, whatever, 45.
It sounds like I'm pumping my own tires. I was
Yeah.
having a good skin day. Like
Sure.
I'll tell you, it was
Yeah.
one of those where I
You're
didn't wake
feeling
up
good.
tired.
And
I
you
was
knew you were feeling good before going in?
100%.
Oh,
yeah,
felt
that feels
great.
good.
What a
And it was
feeling.
just a double, it happened. I mean, I don't remember the last time before that it
Yeah.
happened, but it was a great day and
Sure.
I'm still hanging on to it.
How do you feel though? So you have that, but on the other side, like, how do you feel if you were, you're at the store and then you know
Yeah.
you pay and the person says, "Thanks, ma'am."
Yeah.
How are you with ma'am?
I'm like, I feel in my body and in my brain I'm still a miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
get
know?
that. I get that. One time I was with
Or kiddo.
Kiddo.
Call me
Yeah.
kiddo.
I was with my buddy and we were asking people at a party, who do you think is older? Me and my friend. I'm 33.
Yeah.
He's 32. So we're close. But someone said me, and then we asked them why, and they said, "Oh, you're better preserved." And I was like,
Oh,
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Was that as a compliment? Is that not a preserved?
Preserved.
A preservative. Like I'm not a mummy.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, what does that even mean? How did you elaborate? Did you
No,
ask
but
them
I
to
kind of
explain?
felt good about it too, because it meant like, oh, I'm older, but I look.
I've
younger.
stopped
You know what I
listening
mean?
after they say I look younger. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
cool.
stopped. It
I
doesn't
don't care
matter.
what the
That
reason.
doesn't
You
Yeah.
take your win when you can.
Absolutely.
All right, yeah,
I
fair
mean,
enough.
we go places. My wife will get ID'd, especially in the States and stuff, where it's 21 and stuff.
Yeah.
And so she'll get ID'd, and then they'll look at me and I'm like, "You don't need mine, do you?" They're like, "No."
No.
And it's kind of like, why don't you just ask me
Just
anyway?
to be nice.
Yeah.
Aw,
No.
I get it. By the way, 71% of people surveyed believe that being an adult is harder today than it was even 10 years ago. And that's
I think being a
absolutely
kid
the
is
truth.
harder today. I think being any
Anything,
age is
it's so true.
living
Yeah.
is harder now than it
Yes.
used to be.
It's weird times,
Yeah,
man. And
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
not to get dark, but the 20s are tough to save money and to,
Yeah.
It's
buy
a
a place
daunting
or whatever.
thing, really. It's daunting unless
for
you have
sure.
help.
Yeah, I
For
think
sure.
it's actually really hard to be. Yeah, I think it's hard to
Just
be a
anybody.
senior.
Any
I think
year,
it's just
any
really
age.
hard to live, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, hang in there, everybody.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are all super well preserved. Everybody listening right now.
don't even know what that means.
I'd ID you.
The Hot Tub Podcast with Mahler, Rush, Jenny, and Brady.
Jenny, golf season for you. What do you have another month left in you?
Oh, for sure. I
Yeah?
hope so.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't mind playing when it's a little bit cold out.
Depends on where you are and snow and,
totally.
and all of that stuff.
Weather does
right?
matter. I mean, if it's so cold that I have to put mitts on in between shots, I
That's
don't
not-
love
no,
that.
that's not
But
fun.
I
Yeah.
love fall golf.
I'd love if the four of us could sneak out and
Yes.
play one
Nice.
round.
Yeah.
Totally.
Good
Well, now
idea.
we're more into routine, right?
Yeah.
Less of like the summer craziness.
I'll
So
set
I
it
think
up.
we could.
I'll send up some dates to you guys.
Very
Let's
nice.
do
Okay,
it.
let's
Yeah,
do it.
it's an
And
annual thing. We got to do
Let's
that.
not just say that on the air. Let's actually
Okay,
do
no,
it.
I mean it. I will. I'll actually
100%. Would
send
love
out some
that.
dates. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm really going to put your golf knowledge to the test,
Oh,
but I'm
boy.
going to see the boys because I think you're going to know the answers more than the boys might.
Okay.
Probably.
Now, I say
If it
that
comes to golf, probably.
they might win too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then I thought, is Derek awake? Your husband right now?
No. Yes. No, he is. Yeah, he messaged.
Would he answer the phone if Brady
For sure.
called him?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll give him
yeah,
a call.
give him a call.
Yeah.
I'd like to put him to the test.
He'll
to be
know.
honest with
Well,
you.
he's going to
Oh,
know
he'll
the
do
answer to
well,
all
yeah.
these things.
You
Yeah.
think so?
I would assume.
Well, how tricky are the questions? Are they like
Well,
weird?
it's two questions.
Okay.
And I'll give you the whole story around it. Let's see if we can get Derek first. This is all very last minute.
Yeah, are we writing our answers down?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that way nobody can
Yeah.
piggyback.
Yeah.
I'm taking
Let's
this
see, and-
seriously.
And if Derek answers, we'll make him write his answers down too.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
we'll go around and see
Yeah.
how everyone does.
Right.
All right, Brady's just
Is he
calling.
not answering?
Not yet.
I'll tell you, he is up because he sent a message about my wife
Oh, we did? Okay, yes. Yeah, I just
this
saw that he
morning,
texted.
so he's awake.
I'll just text and say, answer your phone.
Is it
No, he's
good?
clearly not listening.
No.
So
Thanks for listening to the show, Derek. Thanks for getting up and listening. We can make a morning
we got him.
sometime.
Okay,
Oh,
got
we
him?
got him.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Let's see how Derek sounds first
Good morning,
thing in the
Derek.
morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hey,
Oh,
morning.
sounds great.
For
How you guys doing?
we're good.
Good. We have a lot of new listeners all the time to the show. So people should know that you are a golf pro, correct?
Correct. I am.
How long have you been a pro for?
17 years.
Oh,
Okay, noob.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, how old were you when you first picked up a golf club and started playing golf?
10 years old.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
17 years.
Yeah.
Now, Jenny married a 67-year-old. That's
True.
what I'll say.
People don't know
Well,
that. Yeah.
She did it for the money,
Yeah.
money, money.
Get that PGA money.
Yeah, that golf pro money.
All right, so Derek, I have a little story here to share with everybody. And you being a golf pro, I think you're going to slam dunk this. So what I would like you to do is I'd like you to write down your answers like I make them write down their answers and see if anybody gets this right.
Okay. All right.
Are you good with that?
Where are you in the house? And I'll tell you where the closest paper pen is.
I'm literally running down the stairs.
Yeah, no rush. We're not
Yeah.
live.
No, everything's fine. There's a pen in the little
Let's
cubby.
see.
And then
I got one here.
Okay.
Thanks,
Okay, here we
hon.
go.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay, there we go.
All right, here we go. So this is a true story. I don't know if you guys have heard this yet. The longest golf hole in the world is 1,100 yards over in South Korea.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
An 1,100-yard hole.
Yeah.
It's a par.
That's
I mean,
it's a
Probably
par
project.
7.
Oh, it is.
It's a
seven.
par
But that's not a
7.
thing.
Well, it is.
In South Korea, I
There,
guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
a par 7. Now, if you manage to get a hole in one, what would that be called? There are par 7s that do exist. What is it called? Write down what you think the answer is for what you get, what it's called if you get a hole in one.
Okay, I've got
Anybody?
one.
Okay.
Well, I mean, okay, if it's called a hole in one, it's an ace or
An
whatever.
ace.
But you're
But they
saying-
also have
yeah.
another
It's
name.
not.
What would you call it? What you call
No.
a 6 under par in the hole, right? Is what
Now,
you're saying,
if
yeah.
you did that hole in 2 shots, what's that called?
Okay.
Okay, this is not common knowledge. I didn't even.
But I'm curious to see what kind of answers you guys would give.
Okay.
Because, let's be honest, write down your answer.
Yeah.
Hole in
Personally,
one
I think this is
par
pretty
7.
easy. I knew this.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah, I know these two actually.
Yeah. Kind of a layup. I think
is-
you could probably figure it out. But
Yeah.
Okay, Jenny, we're waiting on you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Did you write something down?
No. What did you say if you got it in 2?
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you got in 2, what would that be called?
So basically, what you're looking at, if you get a 6 under par or a 5 under par, what are the names for those things? Yeah. I mean, who doesn't know this?
Yeah, it's kind of a layup, actually.
Yeah.
I thought this was,
Okay.
thought it was going to be a harder question.
Derek, how are you handling this?
This is rough.
All right, Jenny, you done?
I don't have anything. I don't even.
Then you pass?
Yeah, I passed.
Okay.
I have no clue.
Wow. Okay. So let's say you're one over everybody. What's that?
It's a bogey.
Okay. And one under?
You're a birdie.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Now let's say you get it. Let's say you're on a par 5 and you get it in 3. What's that called?
An eagle.
Yeah,
An
it is,
eagle.
yeah.
All right. So we've heard the word birdie and eagle.
Yeah,
sure.
And
Do
bogey,
you see
sure.
you see a theme coming up though?
Oh, it's a bird.
Right.
Yeah.
Birds, yeah.
And isn't that an albatross?
An
Yeah.
albatross would be one
Yeah.
under that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know
Okay.
that. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
So,
Also a bird.
Rush, what do you think it is if you manage to get a hole in one? What would that be called?
That's called the gazelle.
the gazelle. All right.
This is a gazelle, yeah.
I
Jenny?
get it. Pterodactyl.
Not a bird.
That's not right. No, it's a dinosaur.
But it's a
Brady?
birdie dinosaur.
This is an easy one. It's a budgie. A budgie.
That sounds so lame.
Yeah. Oh, I
What
got
did
a
you do there?
budgie.
Got a budgie.
All right, guys, back off now. The golf pro
He
says,
knows, yes.
"What is it, Derek? If you sink a 1,100-yard shot right into the hole,
A peacock.
a peacock?
Peacock, yeah.
Because you're proud as a
Yeah,
peacock,
sure.
Right.
You would be, yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
The correct answer is a phoenix.
A phoenix. Oh,
It's
so
a
you.
phoenix.
Okay.
Okay, so we did not.
Phoenix.
Right.
Nobody got that
No.
right.
I've always called it a gazelle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for some reason, I guess maybe it's like a Quebec thing, but
Yeah.
we always call it a budgie
Yeah.
anytime we go.
What did I say? It was a pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl,
Yeah.
How do you say it with your accent?
A budgie.
Which means phoenix.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Lost in
phoenix.
translation.
Right.
And now, if you did it in 2 shots,
Right, yes.
1,100 yards,
Yeah.
2 shots, what's it called, Rush?
That's a toucan.
a toucan.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Toucan. I hope you
Yeah.
don't guess if any of you get
Yeah.
this. Jenny?
It's oh God, what are those? It's
Triceratops?
definitely a triceratops.
That's not even a bird.
Thank you.
That's
not a
It's like
bird.
you're in my mind, Brady. Yeah.
Brady?
No, it's a hummingbird, guys.
The hummingbird.
It's a
Can you pick
hummingbird.
lamer birds?
I'm sorry. Shout out to all the budgies and hummingbirds out there.
It's only serious when we take it from the golf pro.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Derek, what's the answer?
Everybody loves a cardinal.
It's a cardinal.
Does everybody love a
Yeah.
cardinal?
Sure they do. I like cardinals. Yeah.
Put that on a t-shirt.
I don't know why you guys are going for bigger birds than what you yelled out.
Gazelle and the toucan are big birds.
A hummingbird is a small little bird. It's,
If you did it in 2 shots, that would be called an ostrich.
Right.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay. So you got a phoenix, an ostrich.
Yeah.
Is it albatross?
Albatross.
next
Yes.
then?
Yeah.
And then you got an eagle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then a
and
birdie.
then a birdie.
Yeah.
And par.
Par and a bogey.
Double
Yeah.
bogey.
You guys stink.
See, if you asked me the other direction, I could have told you. Anything over par, I'm an expert at.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, if you shank it to the left, that's a hummingbird.
Oh, God. Okay. No, I murdered a hummingbird. That's what happened. Yeah.
All right. Are you sure you're married to a golf pro?
I don't know anymore. Yeah.
I thought I knew his stuff.
Where are you going in the morning when you leave for work, Derek?
So we came to the conclusion that I'm the worst golf pro ever.
I think so.
Yes,
Exactly.
yeah, you
That's
got
something
it.
like that.
Don't be that hard on
Yeah, I'll
yourself.
tell you what's happening. He's role playing with his mistress.
Yeah.
I'm a golf pro.
Whatever works for you. You know, no judgment.
She's trying to change it up, but every day a golf pro. Oh my God. We'll work on my swing finally.
Thank you, Derek.
Thanks, Derek.
Oh, I'm sure
Thanks,
she's a
guys.
nice person.
Oh, there you go. Now you learned something.
I know, but
Very
I wanted to be
educational.
good at it. I thought I had a fighting chance here.
Well,
If
you
we
didn't
could
even
just
pick birds.
Let's do a game called Rules of the Game of Golf.
Sounds great.
The
Yeah.
driest game ever.
That's riveting morning show content.
You couldn't even come up with an answer.
I know, because I
That's how
wasn't
bad
even.
it is.
That's what I mean. I was like, I couldn't think of what.
We just guessed birds.
I know, but what do you know when it's like a septagon? What is it called? No, an octagon. And what is 7?
That's a shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, septa something or other.
Yeah.
What's 6?
Sexagon?
Sexagon. So I was thinking like sex.
No,
hexagon.
hexagon. A hexagon has six.
I was thinking that, couldn't come up with it clearly. And that's the only I couldn't get off that train.
But they're all birds.
I know, but a bogey isn't a bird.
No, but everything under par is a bird. They're always birds.
They're all birds.
Birdie, eagle, albatross.
Albatross.
They're all birds.
An albatross is a bird.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's with a very wide, long
Yeah,
wingspan.
kind of looks like a seagull, but it's like longer.
Look at that.
Wider.
I'm just
We were
learning.
talking about rectangles. and
And dinosaurs for some reason.
What happened there?
And isn't pterodactyl the bird of dinosaurs?
Well, yeah, but it's still a dinosaur.
Yeah.
It's not really a bird.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, it's it's a dinosaur. The other birds are still around,
yeah, that's fair.
and birds.
Yeah.
Do you picture Encino Man playing golf? Is that what's going on?
If you like what you just heard, tell someone. They can listen to the Hot Tub Podcast with Mahler, Rush, Jenny, and Brady wherever podcasts are found. And if you didn't like what you heard, that's cool. Cool. All right, yeah.